When the cruelest bullies in school slapped her in front of 200 students, everyone expected her to break. Instead, she smiled. What she did next shocked the entire school, destroyed the bullies' reputations, and sparked a chain reaction nobody saw coming. If you want more powerful stories like this, make sure to subscribe right now, because this one will blow your mind. When the slap echoed across the auditorium, bouncing off the walls like a gunshot, every student froze as if the world had been paused by some invisible cosmic hand, but Maya didn't blink. She simply lifted her chin, her cheek throbbing red, her eyes glowing with a strange mixture of calm defiance and something that 200 students crowding the assembly hall had never seen in her before, the kind of quiet fire that warned everyone that something was about to change forever, because that day, the bullies had crossed a line they would soon drown under. It started with Brittany, the self-proclaimed queen of Crestwood High, who strutted toward Maya during the annual speech competition, furious that Maya, straight A student, scholarship kid, quiet genius, had ranked higher than her on the preliminary scoring sheet. Brittany hated anyone who threatened her fragile throne, and Maya, with her calm intelligence, was the biggest threat of all. So with a smug smirk and her minions flanking her like overfed bodyguards, Brittany walked straight onto the stage just as Maya was about to present her speech and said loudly, "You don't deserve to be here, you pathetic nobody," before slapping her with enough force to make even some of her own friends gasp. The murmur in the crowd grew loud, some students pulling out their phones, others whispering, "She's finished, she won't recover from this," but those whispers died instantly the moment Maya slowly turned her face back toward Brittany, her expression unsettlingly serene. "Are you done?" she asked, voice as soft as silk yet sharper than glass, and the casual confidence in her tone made the audience hold their breath. Brittany scoffed, but cracks of insecurity flashed in her eyes as Maya stepped forward, took the microphone, and without waiting for permission, began her speech, not the one she had prepared, but one that flowed like fire, like truth, like a story pulled from the deepest part of her soul. She exposed the reality of bullying, manipulation, cruelty disguised as popularity, and the silent suffering of hundreds of students who endured torment for simply existing. Her voice grew in power, every word sharp, emotional, raw, and as she spoke, more and more students lowered their heads, some wiping tears, others nodding as her words carved through the hall like a blade of light tearing through darkness. Even the teachers, who had failed to control Brittany's tyranny for years, stood frozen. Then Maya did the unimaginable. She produced evidence. Photos, videos, audio clips, collected quietly over months, showing not only Brittany's cruelty but also the involvement of her minions and even a few teachers who had turned a blind eye. Gasps erupted, the principal fell speechless, and Brittany's face drained of color as Maya looked her straight in the eye and said, "You slapped me today because you thought I was powerless. But real power isn't loud. It isn't cruel. It's the strength to rise every time someone tries to bury you." A thunder of applause erupted, rolling through the auditorium like an earthquake, and for the first time, Brittany wasn't the center of attention, Maya was. Within hours, the entire school knew the story, the Board of Education was notified, Brittany and her gang faced severe disciplinary action, and Maya, once ignored, dismissed, underestimated, became an overnight symbol of courage and strength. But that was only the beginning. A week later, a well-known youth advocacy organization reached out, offering Maya a chance to speak at a national conference about bullying, resilience, and leadership. She accepted. Videos of her speech went viral, and suddenly the girl who had been slapped in humiliation was being invited to TV interviews, podcast panels, and leadership summits. Her charisma, intelligence, and raw authenticity captivated thousands. She founded a program called Rise Strong, dedicated to empowering victims of bullying and creating safe spaces in schools, and within a year, the program spread nationwide, earning grants, awards, and international recognition. And as Maya grew, transformed, and soared, Brittany's world crumbled. Colleges withdrew their offers, her social circle dissolved, her reputation disintegrated, but Maya never gloated, she never sought revenge. Her triumph wasn't about destroying Brittany. It was about rebuilding herself. Years passed, and Maya, known now as one of the youngest, most influential voices in youth empowerment, walked onto the stage of yet another conference, this time as the keynote speaker, and as she looked at the thousands cheering for her, she remembered that moment on the stage 5 years ago when 200 students watched her get slapped. She realized that if that day hadn't happened, she might never have discovered the fire burning inside her. After the conference, a familiar figure approached her. It was Brittany. She looked older, tired, humbled. "I know you don't owe me anything," She whispered, "But I want you to know I'm sorry. I've spent years trying to become someone better." Maya studied her for a long moment. People around them watched, waiting for drama, expecting Maya to lash out, reject her, punish her. Instead, Maya extended her hand. "Then start today," she said softly. Brittany broke down in tears, and just like that, the cycle of hatred ended, not with revenge, but with the strength of forgiveness. And the world understood the truth. The slap meant to break her had only awakened the unstoppable woman she was destined to become.